Lost Anchorage.
Look out below! Above! Sideways!
What's this transparent? Right. It's underneath this platform. I was thinking, what the fuck is that transparent guy walking here? Okay. So if you come to me with questions in your eyes, ask and I will answer if I can. Um, Tell me about your people. We live here on the Anchorage, as did our ancestors for countless generations. Trapped here, they grew old, intermarried, raised families. Our laws came one by one as we built a new society here in isolation. We are military, Lascar, soldiers, sailors. We have hierarchy and strength. All know their place. All have the chance to ascend on merit. No favoritism. My own child is not even a Jemadar. I do not review her records. I could lose my position for such an infraction. He shrugs. All families have such struggles. Such a family are we Lascars. We struggle against time, against memory, as we keep an eye on to the sky, always dreaming of escape. Until then, we hold tradition of the civilization of home. Uh, can I help you leave the Anchorage? I, I, I basically I don't particularly want to offer that, but at the same time, I think I want to know their answer, how they view their situation. She smiles slightly. We are not searching for any port that will take refugees. We wait the ship that will come for us. Our tradition tells us that home has not forgotten us, and that we will one day breathe its air again. Until we reach home, we will not. Could you summon the ship to us, or create a pathway to our native land? We would depart gladly, but not until then. No. I don't want to talk about the broken helmet, because it seems to me that they might be living on false hope here. So I need to know basically what we can about the broken helm before I start to reveal any findings to anyone. Tell me about the ship. Until the ship appears from the void and comes to take us home, we serve the anchorage as did generations unaccounted before us. Some fear the ship may never come, but we hold our eyes to the heavens in faith. She spreads her hands wide. Until that day we toil. When the ship comes, and it comes soon, it will find a welcome berth in our anchorage and in our hearts. How long have you waited? As long as necessary, outward world. He stops, retranslating your words. Apologies. We have waited for many families, many parents. My family, and their family, and back many families before them. The Cortex would know, surely. I do not think we wait much longer. Something in the anchorage's air. It smells of our time here coming to an end. Ship will come soon. So they're dying, basically, and I need to convince them to get the fuck out of here. Why would I care about that, though? I mean, I'm going to give them a warning, but why would I fight for them? Whether they believe it or not, it's their choice. I'm a firm believer of letting people make their own choices, good or bad. But at the same time, I want them to have the ability to make an informed decision. I don't care too much what the decision actually is after that. Yeah, what is that pinging noise? She looks at you strangely for a moment, as if she had no idea of what you spoke, and then the comprehension comes. Ah, the signal! For so long have I heard it, I have forgotten. We call for the ship. Perhaps it has become lost. If so, we light a beacon in the void. Okay. Tell me more about this place. It's looks like a space station more than anything else. I thought it was an undersea or sea-based situation because of the clothing or armor they have. but I'm not so sure anymore.
The void is great and vast, it holds terrors. Anchorage is respite, a place of rest and safety. There were once many ships with many people. They came here, rested, refueled, took passengers. Passengers traveled to many worlds around many stars, and then they stopped coming. But we remain.
So yeah, it's a space station. Maybe their armor is a hint where their original world is. Are you your ancestors the ones who built this place?
She shakes her head. I do not think so. We lived here many years, but if we built the anchorage, no memories remain. They tell us only that we served. Perhaps it was built by our people, perhaps it was always been here. We do not know.
Maybe it's the same situation as with the foreman. The artificial intelligences sort of served someone. There's similar situation has been with a couple of other guys. Basically, some kind of vast empire that lost connection. It's hard to say in a world like this, the Ninth World, which specific empire do they refer to. So maybe this was some kind of servant race or a slave species, or at least mind controlled or something like that. That they weren't in control. They didn't build all this. They just lived among it. Tell me about your society.
I lead. As captain, the anchorage is my command. Marriages I approve. I lead the rites. To me falls all responsibility for survival. But such duties are onerous. I delegate, as captain did before me. So we have pilots, majors, jemadars, and others. They prove themselves through work, rise through ranks. Every 10 years, those of high rank may challenge me for my position. We speak to the cortex and match our minds. We solve scheduling, mathematical, logistic problems. Should my challenger win, I retire and advise. We cannot survive without cooperation.
Okay, what is the cortex?
Updated my journal.
It is a device sacred to us.
He says carefully, her eyes on yours.
It is our only connection to our lost home.
She folds her arms and adds,
We do not allow outworlders to see it. I mean no offense, but do not ask.
Why? She exhales, teeth clench, and looks up. Fury wavers like a trapped flame behind her eyes.
We were not always so protective. That was before other outworlders tried to steal it a few years ago. Perhaps you are different. This does not matter. No outworlder will ever be allowed to see the Codex again.
Can you tell me anything about the outworlders who tried to steal the Codex? Loading or something. She growls, sweeping a hand over her head. Clearly she regrets broaching the topic at all.
We were foolish. They came to us through a portal from your world. We welcomed them as guests and showed them the anchorage, the cortex.
Her hand is a fist at her side.
One of them put hands on it. His friends attacked us. The anchorage, burning the walls with their fire.
Making a note.
We killed them, of course, all except the one who touched the cortex. Him we questioned until he died screaming a word over and over. The word was Dragogen,
of course. Yeah, I found this broken helm in the gloom. No, not yet. Ask Dragogen about his effort to acquire the cortex. Bring the helmet to its owner's people. They might be able to tell more about her and the cortex she mentioned.
Alright.
Yeah, aboard. Need to talk to Dragogen. Why does he want the cortex? I have zero interest in trying to do his job for him, but he might be able to give us a perspective, since they are clearly not willing to really even discuss the issue.
Why, of course.
Every little bit helps. I wonder how many days the game counts. I mean the sleep cycles. The robot I think
Gladly.
that is collecting bodies appeared only after I had slept in this place once. But other things changed immediately too. So what I wonder is, probably not too many, but still, they could be that at least a couple of rest cycles. There's events meant for them. And if you go through everything without resting at all, you're going to miss things. So there would be benefit in getting through things quickly without resting once, and benefit in taking your time.
I'm going.
Look out below! Above! Sideways!
Are you still interested in exploring the bloom, my friend? Word has reached these humble ears of a new maw opening near the court of Garto in Little Neelish. If it leads to the place I recall, which I thought long gone, it may contain devices of great value indeed. If I did not have pressing business here, I should explore it myself, but I forget myself. What can I help you with? I've heard that you sought the cortex from the Anchorage before.
Making a note.
He bows slightly. Indeed. As I mentioned, I have an interest in unique artifacts, and I occasionally fund expeditions to find these artifacts. When the bloom opened to the Anchorage, I offered a reward to the team that would bring me interesting treasures from this location. Alas, the Lascars caught and prosecuted my employees. He smiles. When we have concluded our business with the amulet, I may have a proposition for you.
Why not?
Hmm. Though not that useful.
Of course.
Why, of course.
I'm thinking of actually going to the Ascension sooner rather than later. This is, I'm not going to, I'll at least try to bring the helmet and take a look around there. The reason for that is,
I'm going.
I think if we're going to meet Rin again, it's going to happen on the main plotline road. And Rin is already hugely behind everyone else, so this is
On it.
the fact that she's not in our group just makes the situation worse.
Coming.
So if we have a chance to return her to the group, I'd rather have it that happen sooner than later. At the same time, I'm not willing to miss out on opportunities because of that. She was always basically dead weight as far as we were concerned. The fact that we could make her a healer was
Don't
a
mind if I
happy
do.
coincidence or opportunity. I found this broken helmet in the bloom. Her gaze flicks down to the helmet in your hand and back up. She draws in a long, controlled breath. Achille, I knew she was lost to us, but I take no pleasure in it. Thank you, Outworlder. Her family will be glad to have it back once you surrender it to me. She lifts her eyebrows expectantly. I listened to one of her memories. She thought she'd found something important. Disgust flashes across her stony face and is just as quickly suppressed.
I do not wish to hear of her private memories. Her thoughts are hers and should die with her.
Last sentence has a lilt to it, as if Jenner is quoting a verse. The hard line of her mouth softens then.
Achille was intelligent, adventurous, but drawn to wild theories. Do not worry about her important discovery. Let it fade with her.
Want to hold on to the helm for a while now. I need to see what she discovered.
Making a note.
He gives you a hard look.
No, you cannot scavenge through her memories because the helm is not tuned to you, and besides, it is forbidden.
Falters, her mouth hanging open.
Had this conversation once before. Had it with Achille.
Corner of her mouth twitches, but she does not speak for a long time.
Fine. It would make her happy to know that her helm is carried by someone with her curiosity. Take it with her blessing.
Yeah, her memory said she needed to compare her data to the navigational cortex archives. Jenner claps her hands over her ears, hesitates, then drums them, eyeing you balefully.
Do not share the memories of fallen Lascars with others. It is not done. Understand?
He stares you to your left, weighing her response, and continues.
Let her secrets die inside you. As I said before, Outworlders are not allowed near the Cortex.
Well, I guess that's it, Meredith sighs. There's no way to the Cortex chamber, and we're not the type to sneak in when everyone's backs are turned. And he freezes. We aren't, are we? He whispers, concerned. Yeah, I sort of suspected this. Could have kept it to myself, but I wanted them to give me a chance to basically go there with permission instead of forcing my way. It's not all that hard to guess what's happened. This door is made of actually, I hope it's not what I think it is. I really do. This door is because it's too obvious. This door is made of some unfamiliar shiny metal. It has been polished to a mirror-like sheen. A magnetic strip of another duller metal has a strange runic script scrawled across its surface. It looks like an instruction regarding the door. On trying the door, you discover that the message must be "this door is stuck" or something equivalent. You might be able to force the door open, but it won't be easy. Well, you might be able to force it. Ooh, holy fucking shit. 15% chance of success. Yikes. Leave it for now. They weren't kidding about this. A heavy door is sealed shut. It's the only thing that stands between you and the void. It's an it's an airlock. Maybe we should think twice before we start opening that.
Why not?
Right. Framed by luxurious curtains, this window reveals the surface of an ocean world far below. View is reminiscent of what you saw when you were born, but the water has a purplish hue, and the scattered landmasses are brown and dead. This is clearly not the ninth world. I think, yeah.
Coming.
Archie.
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Like everything in this chamber, this device is perfectly polished and clean. Every so often, it emits a loud signal that vibrates the whole room. This display shows countless suns viewed from a moving point of reference. Its plots distance and routes between them is at dizzying speed.
Why not?
This three-dimensional image displays an evolving root-like system, or perhaps an organically growing data structure. I'm assuming this is the system we're supposed to use or not use.
Find 'em. Something to do.
Can't code young, or does it open automatically? Pilot Major Genjis. These ornate doors are firmly shut. When you get close to them, a voice says something in an alien tongue. You don't understand the words, but they sound suspiciously like a rejection. Worry stamps its lines on the features of this man. Like the others in the anchorage, he wears a suit of ornate armor, but he has set aside his helmet. His hair is thinning, and wrinkles web around his eyes and across his forehead. He's tinkering with some display, but he turns away from it to address you. Greetings. I'm Genjis, pilot major of this anchorage. What do you do here? I serve Outworld. I am the keeper of the navigational cortex, its servant. I watch the sensors, I listen to its words. Information from antenna arrays filter in here. All knowledge of the anchorage pass the cortex. If I fail in my duties, the ship might arrive without my foreknown knowledge. So I clean and listen and study. The ship should come in my life, and I believe it may. I will take its mind in mine, and we will pilot a course for home. Right. Tell me about your people. He wipes a cloth across a clear glass eye and glances at you. You have spoken with some, yes? We have lived here long. Many captains passed. We discovered we would have to wait for the ship to come. Until that time, until the arrival, we survive. We wait, and we train. Tell me about this place. It is many things to us. A home, a reminder of who we once were, and a promise. No, a prophecy. No. He trails off, clicking his tongue, then brightens. Can show you the anchorage instead of just telling you about it. Can give you tour, yes? What a remarkable idea, Tiber says in your ear. We have to leave the cortex door to it. Say yes. Yeah. Not yet. Because if this is the cortex, I might as well use the other thing first. Tell me about the ship. It was promised of old. It will carry us home. It's perhaps ridiculous for Outworlders to understand. So many crew have passed on so many lives ago, and still we believe. Some question whether it comes. Many have died before its arrival, yet still we believe. What is life without belief? Why do we keep on with routines and rituals, if not for belief that someday we will go home? Well, this is sort of like a refugee problem. Or rather a question you face. Let's say civil war, very very bad civil war happens. The question is, do you sort of stick it out, or you try to make the best of it in the bad situation, wait it out, or do you just leave for another country, basically to restart your life and fully prepared to stay and rebuild a totally new life in that country? These are people who are basically just sticking with it, and I have been sticking with it for generations. If they would have just left this place and started new, they might have created a thriving community already. But now they're just hanging on, and I'd like to know how well they're doing, because based on the change in air situation, I have a feeling that this is basically coming to an end one way or another. Things are falling apart. So either the ship comes, if it ever even has a chance to come, or they need to just get the fuck out. What is the cortex? What is the cortex? I almost speak too fast. It is our watcher of the void. It is the keeper of our history. It knows the night skies of a million worlds. It holds our traditions and tells us how to live in accordance with old crews. It keeps us alive.
maintains the anchorage. He bows his head in reverence. It alone is the voice of truth. Never has it been wrong. It does all that? Eritis exclaims. That's amazing. I hope I don't break it. Genji blinks several times and smiles carefully. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about letting Eritis go there. I want to mention about the last Karham to people. Not yet. I really would like to die.
Yes.
I really would like that you could just stick a knife in you. That would be the most convenient thing.
To action!
This Lascar examines the contents of an open hatch in the console before him. Brown, contorted. Occasionally he takes a tiny component from the tidy pile beside him and plugs it into the machine's unseen innards, waits a hopeful moment, and mutters what is most likely a curse. He spots you and gives you a true rueful grin of unsuccessful repairmen everywhere. Hello, this good to come? He watches your expression carefully, then sighs and touches his forehead, then his lips, and then he shakes his head. Speak slow, please. I try. I hear. I try. What are you doing? He squints at your mouth, then nods. I fix. Try fix. Not fix. What are these controls for? He plants one hand on a set of controls. This give information on stars. He drops his hand on the other set. Just listen to the stars, for voices, for home. He stands straighter. When ship comes, ship speaks. He waves a hand in a motion you recognize as, this isn't really what I mean, but I can't remember the words. Gesture. Right. I hear first, tell all, me. He smacks his chest with an open hand, grinning. He pauses, his hand slipping from his chest, and indicates a small section of the controls he didn't touch before. It's for Cortex maintenance, he says dismissively. Apparently, this job doesn't cover that area of the anchorage. What does Cortex maintenance involve?
I'll remember that.
His smile widens. You get a feeling that people don't usually take that much of an interest in this man's work. Kenji's does most. Me? Wait for light here. He points. Then press button here. He chuckles at himself. This difficult work need concentrate. He takes a furious show of concentrating on the lights and pressing the button with a finger. He chuckles again and shrugs. Without button, no remove cortex, so it's important button. I don't want to remove the cortex, I just want to access it. Right, so this isn't important to me. What's wrong with that stuck door over there? He follows your gaze and shakes his head. It's broken in. He makes a complicated gear-like motion with both hands before giving up. In everywhere. All of we are for fighting. Fixing? No. Kenji's can fix, but behind room is no critical, he say. He points at himself and deepens his voice. You fix. He points to the sign on the door. Mate sign and Ula. He throws his hands up in the air. Let me look at your controls, maybe I can fix this stuck door. The smile on the Lascar's face falters a little, but he shrugs. Yes, use controls here when you want. No others, please. Okay.
All right.
This console is a bewildering array of displays, unlit buttons and switches, all helpfully labeled with words in a language you don't understand. Much of it is covered in a slight layer of dust, as if most of the console is rarely, if ever, used by the nearby Lascar. Examine. You lean over the control console, taking care to not press any buttons by accident. As you noticed before, much of the device is covered in dust. One screen on the side, however, is completely clean, and the buttons beside it are marked with dusty fingerprints. Okay, use the controls that the last car showed you and try to open the stock airlock door. Yeah, I'll take full success because it's very unlikely to be opened by physical means, so this has to work. Heal 25. We got a critical success. Yeah, full intelligence. More or less, I guess. You stare at the controls for the moment, then get to work. Leaning on your intuition, you press a number of buttons, watching lights flicker around the room. Finally, you tap a neglected icon on the display. The sealed airlock door expels a dark cloud of smoke, shutters open and spraying sparks in every direction before coming to a halt. Restore 7 intellect points. Lascar clasps you on the shoulder. Broke now, he says, chuckling, but open broke.
I am the
Yeah,
very
now we
soul
can
of
open up
action.
the airlock and kill everyone.
Why not?
Yeah. What's so important here? Holy shit. Ah, 2 items. Ding, ding. A cipher. The cure. One enemy. The target enemy drops some of their possessions, then wander aimlessly, never attacking, while the cure is active. Interesting. This smooth yet multifaceted ceramic sphere refracts and reflects light brilliantly. When hurled, it releases a sparkling gaseous cloud, eliciting feelings of euphoria, empathy, and goodwill from those who are engulfed in its vapors. Doesn't look like you can defend against it, at least I don't see how. Okay. And wishing to atone for past misdeeds. They fling their possessions outward in acknowledgement of being cured of greed, hatred, and delusion. While in that altered state, they wander aimlessly, contemplating how they may best benefit all the inhabitants of the Ninth World. This appears to be a conduit for a third party's contemplation, as the words come through even from creatures that do not know the human language. The cure was brought into the Ninth World when a scholar discovered a supply stored underneath an ancient ruin. Some Aeon priests believe that he planned to deliver a large quantity to the steadfast, but was murdered before he could do so. This sphere may be the last of its kind. Smart Traveler Star. This grey metal choker bears a small 9-pointed star on its front and fits snugly when worn, adjusting to the size of its owner. It protects its bearer from small inconveniences encountered during travels and everyday life, including mild to moderate rain, floating road dust, and campfire smoke, allowing her to remain fresh even after days of extensive walking. The choker doesn't stop real danger though, and the wearer shouldn't walk into a hailstorm or a house fire without more suitable protections. The delicate craftsmanship of the star suggests that the item was not created for simple wayfarers. More likely, it was intended for high-ranking individuals wary of spoiling their expensive attire during the demands of social events. Nevertheless, its usefulness made it a nice trinket for the Ninth World adventurers and travelers.
These ciphers are killing me.
Yeah, who has that? You guys have the sickness. Might pull negatives. We're definitely looking for opportunities to waste these. There are a couple of these. The steel seed pod, something I can easily waste immediately. And maybe the gravity bomb.
Let's
I
go.
wonder if I can close it. Wonder if it's even an option. Force the door open. The shiny door remains stubbornly closed. Oh no, actually it doesn't, but whatever.
Of course.
Okay, now comes the moment of truth.
Ready.
Are we going to try something here or not? You can't read the text on this display, but the graphics seem to depict atmospheric conditions and power levels in the room. It's just a monitoring station and can be controlled from here. Right. We've gotta do it. We're not taking the core though. This is not a robbery. I'd like that. Oh, do I mention the? No, I don't want to mention the helm. Although, do I? Maybe I could convince him to open it. I don't want to break in if I don't have to. I'll find this last car helm. I want to go for the give me permission, because if he works with us, this is all smooth and no one gets to know. We get the truth. If not, this is going to get troublesome. Does that helm belong to Gemma Chili? He snatches it from your hands and studies it carefully. Boy, take it. I hope she still survived. His accent grows thicker with emotion. Please show to Janner. Find out what Achille discovered. Make life count. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, but I can't ask him to let me in. I want to try something else. What happens if I do this?
Yes.
Is he going to
Now.
stop me, or do I see some options? Basically, what I need to know is what exactly is required to actually get in before I take the tour. Though multiple well-polished locks line the edge, you can't help noticing that this door isn't quite as thick as the others you've seen here, and a soft buzzing hum rises from within it. A complex control panel, or possibly another lock, is in the wall beside the door. Its buttons are marked with symbols you don't understand, and the light behind them flickers like a candle.
Making a note.
Do not touch door, please. Codex chamber is not for outworlders. Apologies.
Yeah, it's been added probably afterwards.
Hi there. Well, seems as though we'll have to get him away from the door somehow, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's do it.
4. Horse, follow me. I've already seen the elevator room. You will now see the observation deck where we watch the upcoming ship, where we study the path of the stars. Follow, please. First see this, the path between the stars, the journeys that took us to this place. And please, ask questions if you have questions.
Yes, we should do that, Piper says quietly beneath his hand.
And the longer we keep him talking, the more time we have to find the codex.
Here's the problem though, I'm the only fucking one who can realistically do anything here if it requires effort. At the same time, I'm not sure if I'm the... Can we... talk with him?
Any questions you have before we continue?
Do you have names for any of these stars?
Some, yes. Others, no. What has been lost?
He gestures you along, urging you to follow him. Hopefully you have better luck. So, starting this display could help you or people find their way home. He blinks rapidly, surprised by your question.
Some of us believe this. They come here when they have no work to stare at their changing paths, to draw their own maps and dream. Yes, dream.
He pauses, gathering his thoughts. Let's bought us time, I guess. Fucker need to move.
Ready.
Use control panel to open the door. We're not smashing anything. Yeah, it has to be me. No one else will do. You tap the symbols at random, noticing that the light behind them goes out when you hit certain buttons in sequence. Clicks and mechanical snaps sound with the door as you work. Glancing back occasionally to be sure you haven't been discovered. With no warning, the door opens. With a sizzling pop, the panel goes utterly dark, and you smell burning wires. You won't be closing this door again, it seems. Ganje stares into the changing stars. His eyes are filled with their light.
I believe that the paths between the stars are too many, that we must wait for the ship. We must move alone now.
Issue the first unlock command from the console to the Codex room. Yeah, we'll just have to try to talk with you. Yeah, we don't have to do anything now. Can't talk with him either. I'm trying to basically maybe block him a little bit, so he has to take the longer route.
On my way.
That's the only thing I can do. Waves of coherent thought radiate from the orb, flooding your mind with strange abstract calculation and mathematical formula. It shines so brightly that you can't look at it for long.
Fine.
The sphere turns slowly, almost thoughtfully. The glow of the control console pulses with it, warming the palms of your hands. Use the console. You touch the console and the warmth spreads up your arms and into your mind. At the moment of contact, a female voice speaks.
This.
And with a brief stutter, it continues in the truth.
Would you like to do?
You glance around, seeking the source of the voice, before you realize that it is speaking only in your head and to you alone. Cortex removal process. No. Ask the cortex about itself. I think we need to ask about the helmet first. Then we can ask about other things. Ask for basic information on the helmet you found in the flume.
This helm belongs to the Jemadar Achille. She has been missing for 15 years by the reckoning of your world. It contains a visual record she marked as being of importance. You suggested these images be analyzed. I will do so on your command.
Have the cortex analyze the data on the helm.
I'll remember that.
Processing. One moment. Biological matter has entered some of the helmet's contacts. I will be unable to analyze this object unless the cortex removal process has processed to the third stage. This will allow me to open the cortex housing and perform a focused scan analysis of the helmet.
Oh fuck, this is gonna turn to shit. Begin cortex removal process.
Of course. As I note that you are first-time user, Stage 1 requires you to assemble a pass symbol on the screen before you and pull the lever on the side of the console.
A jumble of small jagged symbols tumble across the screen, as if tossed there by a careless hand. Assemble the pass symbol. Yeah, ooh, holy shit. It's, we need to restore our stats. Okay. Working swiftly, you compose the small jagged shapes into a large unfamiliar symbol with a series of satisfying clicks. A clunk sound in lever's housing and you pull it down. An excellent solution. Well done. The hum beneath the voice changes subtly. Stage 1 of the removal process has been completed. Your actions must now be verified from the control pit. Please wait. Yeah. Now see this, a map of another kind. A living painting of the cortex's thoughts. Yeah, fuck. How much can you guys move? I don't think they can move this much, so at least talk to him. We need to try to hold him here for another turn. I will explain what I can if you have questions. Yeah, what the fuck was this? I don't have to call it anymore. It refreshes constantly. Is it changing its mind or checking if the thoughts are still there? Delight blooms across your guy's face. I wonder the same thing. He looks at the air, lips moving, composing his response. So we basically bought an additional turn, I guess. But yeah, I did not take into account that we might have to actually start the removal process. So I doubt this will work.
Of course.
We'll see. I don't think I have necessarily the time. I also don't have the stats. I literally have zeros here. Well, a zero. I can't do anything without the confirmation. Reveal heal might and speed and intellect for all party members. Allies in the entire area around caster. No. I'm trying to figure out, is there a way for me to recover? I can recover, but I was waiting for this for some situation that would be drastically tougher. Applied to this character, heals 1 point of might. Nah, this is not good enough. I have recovery, I have health recovery, but that's about it. I doubt I can take items from the other guys. That would be great though. Yeah, that's what I think. So this is gonna end up being whatever it is. Yeah, I can't do much. Can I ask about other things?
Fine.
Quest information on the home planet of the last card. No, ask it about the Codex itself. Because we smelt burnt wire here. I'm a navigational Codex. I was manufactured 3059 cycles ago by the Devabil Combine, with 2153 cycles remaining. I was brought here through a localized dimensional vortex, which has since collapsed. I am powered by a quantum-tunneled intrastitial hovering matrix, the glowing orb you see before you. I interact with both users and appropriate receptacles to provide observed and recorded historical information, starfield tracking and navigation, observation and essential starport maintenance. I maintain information recording exactly 1,097,544 star systems,
with detailed information on routes between them, including known transdimensional passages, for every world in each of these star systems. I hold detailed images of their night skies, protected daytime star fields. Additionally, I maintain detailed personal information for this situation dating back many centuries.
Um, Personnel history. Thousands of records, perhaps tens of thousands, scroll past your eyes, appended with arcane timekeeping. Name changes, dates of birth and death, all the personnel who have ever lived, traveled or otherwise passed through the anchorage, no matter how brief their stay. The sheer amount of information is overwhelming. Sincere bewilderment, the smooth voice says,
Certain historical trends can be deduced through analysis of this data, but this does not seem to be your focus. Popular interactions include brief historical overviews of the station, important recent events, and location searches on missing crew members.
Historical overview.
My, re- my records extend over 10,000 fewer years, inherited from the predecessor of this position. In all this time, the people now calling themselves the Lascar have crewed this station, and pre-existing records suggest that they were here in a more formal military servile capacity before the shipping lanes began to close. The original crew of the station has repopulated the station, and their descendants have grown in number. A number of conflicts have risen over the years, in particular, the Five-Cycle Mutiny, the Airlock Debacle, and the Castaway Action. Each of these helped define the current power and familiar structures of the existing population. The current structure of the population is strongly based on and influenced by the naval hierarchy of its forebears. They await the coming of another ship to close the station properly and bring them home.
Recent occurrences.
Approximately 15 years ago, as you measure time, a transdimensional pathway opened to the station. This was the first contact with other sentient life the inhabitants of the station have had in generations. Trade was established. That portal closed recently, but it has been replaced with the pathway through which you entered.
Further information. Okay, missing personnel.
A single Lascar remains unaccounted for. Jamadar Achille passed through the transdimensional gateway approximately 15 years of your time. She has not returned. If you have any information on additional personnel not covered by the census, please report immediately to the captain.
Okay. Information about Jemadar Achille. Wrong button.
Jamadar Achille traveled through the transdimensional portal that opened 15 years ago. Her mission was to explore and establish potential embassy and trade. She was also to seek other routes whereby the inhabitants of this station might find passage to their home world. Her last ambition contained a report of her investigation of a community known as the Blue, which apparently existed inside a living creature. She was 28 years of age when she departed. She left behind 2 sisters, a brother, and a father.
She was taking pictures of the stars that could be seen on this world. So she basically wanted the location. Anything else? I can't continue the removal process. I was thinking maybe I should run to the other station, but that seems like a tough thing to do. Exact location of Anchorage.
The exact coordinates are
Yeah. These numbers also helpfully appear in a pale blue light on the control console. You suspect that if you had the proper education and context to understand these numbers, you might have a better picture of your location. As it is, they mean nothing to you. How long have the last cars been waiting for the ship?
accessing records. Calculating. Last cars have been waiting for the vessel to take them home for approximately 10,091 of your years.
Yeah. It's not complicated. Information on the home planet of Lascars. A bluish globe, seen from a great distance, around which many smaller orbs rotate, appears before your eyes, as if it were floating in front of you. The home of the Lascars is called Ish Trinu. Okay. Can't do anything.
Try to follow this Eureka house, eh? For example, to question every thought is to have flexible mind. The tour must continue. I have much to finish after.
I doubt I can help. They're probably moving here. Maybe? I could also talk to the captain, clearly. I mean, in this crisis. Where do you want to move? That's the question. Should I move toward the captain? Yeah, let's do that. Maybe I could delay things somehow.
Why not?
Press stage 1 button while the last car is not looking. This has to work. You wait until the last car is preoccupied and swiftly tap the button. Last car looks over at the sound, at your innocent face, and then the now dark screen and button. He frowns.
Yes. Now.
Continue the cortex removal.
Stage 2 initialized. Please identify core locking components from the previous stage. Once you have done so, the casing over the error. Unable to translate title switch. Switch will open. Flip to switch to complete the stage.
Ask about the error the cortex mentioned. You hear a series of clicks in your head.
Apologies. A separate intelligence is responsible for the error reporting. I'm not aware of any errors at this time. Please proceed with the actions required for stage 2.
Identify the correct symbols from the previous stage. This should be intelligent. Yeah. A flood of symbols streams across the console's tiny screen. At first, none of them look in any way familiar, but as you watch, you recognize a few. They disappear beneath your tapping fingertips with sweet peeping pings. A fluttering sound, something like an insect wings, rises from the console, and the casing pops open. You flick the switch.
Stage 2 complete. Well done. Your actions in Stage 2 have been sent to the observation deck to be verified. Please wait.
Oh. So is this is the observation deck, I presume? So yeah, it's definitely a two-man project.
If you want a job done right,
Don't mind if I do.
Please work. Laskar glances up, eyes leaving the monitor. Swift and silent as air, you lean over and press the button. Laskar looks back down at the click, frowning again.
Touch?
He says sternly. You do not respond, and after a moment he returns to his work, eyeing you more often now. Yep.
Of course.
The voice of the cortex speaks to you, filling your mind. Continue with the process.
Stage 3 initialized. Simply arrange the previously selected symbols into a critical error. Existing syntax is inadequate.
Voice says in a high, pleading tones.
Instructions are flawed. User may be unable to complete cortex removal procedure.
Maintenance is requested. Repeat, maintenance is requested. After a long pause, the voice resumes, utterly calm. Once this is complete, manually pull the locking cylinder from its housing, rotate it, and insert it back into the console. Try to figure out what you're supposed to do. No, warn the Cortex that its instructions were full of errors and missing information. You smell. No, you think you smell burning plastic, molten metal. And the voice speaks. I am not aware of any errors, whispers hoarsely. Complete the stage to best of your ability. If you are unable to do so, I will not be able to release the Cortex as requested. My apologies. My apologies. Yeah. It's not gonna last 2,000 years, is it? Try to figure out what you're supposed to do. Bereft of any useful instructions, you study the sigils rotating on the screen. All of them are moving except for the one in the upper left corner, the original shape assembled in stage 1. On a whim, you arrange the remaining sigils into a frame surrounding that shape. Excellent work. I've never seen it done faster. Please wait. Your actions in stage 3 must be verified. Oh fuck. Yeah, please, I'm very interested in your work. I'm running out of points.
Of course.
I think I can't take this. He's suspicious of me already. Study the last car's movements to get a better sense of when he's not paying attention to the controls. I think I need to take this to get this unnoticed. You observe him for a handful of broken moments. He divides his attention between his repairs and the buttons to his immediate right and left. There's something else about his movements, something potentially useful, but you can't quite catch what it is. Ah, fuck. Throw one of the components to distract. Actually, could I use a hypo? Should be able to do it. Only available during combat or conversation. What the fuck are you talking about? Bullshit. Can't do anything here either. What the fuck are you doing?
On my way.
Continue to study their last car's movement. I think I'll fail if I basically don't do this unnoticed, so... You watch him for another few seconds. His gaze flickers between his repairs, a quick scan of the area. He's looking up, and in these moments light goes across the surface of the eyes. There's a strong chance that during these moments he's looking at something you can't see, and while he's doing that, he might not be able to see you. Yeah, it's the only thing I got. Introduction to the captain?
Oh, see, you know this door, of course. You came us from it.
Can you go and talk to the fucker? I might not have actions though, but yeah. This has to work. Continue studying. Laskar sighs, rubbing his eyes. In that second, you dart over and press the clone button.
On it.
Command the Cortex to process the data on the helmet.
Certainly, please wait.
Dark masses within the giant orb shift, and a pinpoint of light streaks from within, dancing over the helmet in your hands.
Processing complete. Report. Jemadar Archili was struck and killed at the date of her last record. Her file has been updated to reflect this information. Analysis continues.
All of the images contained inside the helmet strobe rapidly through your vision. The images of the night sky that were so prevalent in the helm appear now, and the Cortex begins to layer star charts over the top of those pictures.
The information about the location of the world has now been added to my memory.
Okay. Ask if the images in the broken helmet can match any of the Cortex's
I'll
records.
remember that.
Based on time regression analysis of star fields and relative planetary position, only one possible world matches. Ishtrinu, the world the Lascar people call home.
I'm going.
Do I continue the removal process? I don't particularly want to. Remove the Cortex. Keep Kins occupied while stealing the Cortex. I don't actually want to steal the Cortex. Can I save? No, I don't want to replay this either. Fuck.
I'm going.
I need to talk to the captain. Where's he going? Somewhere here. Fucker is so quick.
Action! Here I come!
Could you talk with her? I think I want to do that for my main character. I'm moving these guys into
Why
an
not?
intercept course to delay him.
All right.
See this now, a door once used to by the most exalted travelers. Now often broken, the room beyond is for storage.
Can I use this? Yeah, I can't close the door, so no matter what I do, that's not enough. That's what I wanted to know. But if your ship comes, would they come through this door? He opens his mouth, shuts it, gives the door a long worried look. Ask about other things.
I greet you. What do you need?
I've uncovered the location of Ishtrinu, your home world. The Bloom lives in that world. You just need to go through the portal and you'll be home.
What evidence have you of this? How do you know? The Cortex must verify the truth. We'll return.
He hurries from the room.
Can't say I mind that.
Her face is pale and her hand trembles as she returns. A tear rolls down her cheek.
You have done us a great service, Outworlder. Your wisdom, your knowledge, they bring us home.
I'm ready to learn something new.
Captain Jenner summons the crew, and when they have assembled, she speaks to them for long moments in their own tongue. Her face shines. You hear gasps and cries of muted praise. Some weep openly. When she finishes her speech, the last cars line up outside the portal to the bloom. Outworlder, whatever lies beyond the bloom is the place we call home. Our service is done. Our thanks. She presses the navigational cortex into your hand and follows her crew out of the anchorage. You retrieve this tiny metal and tin sphere from inside a larger device. It is the navigational cortex of the last car's anchorage, containing records of innumerable worlds and maps of the travel routes between them. You can see infinitesimally small patterns traced along its surface, with minuscule lights racing along and through those patterns. Yay, I guess. Save. Oh, this was the first time we actually had big trouble with the attributes. Over-specialization leads to death. More importantly, you don't never know what exactly do you want these challenges. So jacks would have been basically good at any of these jobs, good enough to get through. Glaive, no, not this type of glaive at least, and certainly not my nano. Although I did get through it, so...
Alright.
But that was a close call. Increased edge, increased stat pools. I think we could use edge in speed too, but let's go for stats pools. I'm not taking intellect. We do have to use might here and there too, but yeah, I think I prefer a larger speed pool. For machinery perception. Double specialized.
Sure enough.
I don't want to give the item to Dragon. You pull the cortex out and hold it, and as you focus on it, a pale blue symbol discreetly appears in your vision, overlaying reality. It's a small encircled plus sign, and somehow instinctively you know that it's a location finder. It blinks quietly but insistently, waiting for you to acknowledge it. Okay, where am I now? A mass of stars swirls in your vision, a conglomeration of so many billions of stars that you can't quite comprehend its scale. Suddenly you are diving toward a point to the middle right of the star field, swooping and zooming toward a single star system. Projected orbits of its planets and moons are overlaid on the gas giants, the small rocks that circle the star. The image in your vision focuses first on the star and then shifts quickly to the fifth rock around it. That world is small and blue, seemingly to consist largely of oceans, with very few small brown land masses. Some abandoned cities loom in patches on its islands, but before you can focus on those, the view shifts again to a single chord that rises from a dry plain on the largest island. Following the chord toward the sky, you see something that looks like a child's toy. A central hub that looks like a ziggurat mirror top and bottom, with the thick spokes that radiated from its center to the network of lines that surround it. To start, you realize that you're looking at the anchorage, and that the blobs at each of the intersection lines are docking stations for spacefaring vessels, and that the lines are passageways and transport tubes. Script and numbers scroll across your vision. Cortex speaks in your mind. You are in way station 5193, attached to the world Emash Thun. How far is this from the ninth world? Does she even know? Calculating. The image retreats again, showing the great mass of stars again, and a red line appears between the location of the anchorage and another world. Number appears, 117. Distance shown in light years, displayed in your preferred mental time measurement. Okay.
If you want a job done right,
How is that useful? I'm sure you can get us something valuable through maybe a favor from Dragogen through it, but I feel I don't like Dragogen. I don't feel like I want to do extra favors with him, so
I am the very soul
I'll
of
leave
action.
things here. I wonder where the people will basically make their home. But, we'll find that out some other time. I don't think they'll stay with the
Happy to
balloon.
help.
Also, I wanted to decide what to do with the attributes. I need to have at least a little bit, please. I might buy some extra somewhere. I don't recall who sells this crap. I don't want to rest now. I have too many buffs going on. And I have the money to buy that crap too, so it's not a question of money, just if we actually have the option of getting the items somewhere. Right.
If you want a job done right,
Ah, that was actually very nice. I like the
I'm good.
crises in these games, or this particular game. I don't know how much I like them. The problem is, because I'm playing in a very specific way, in order for me to see the full range of options and things like that, I'd have to play this game again. But currently it seems they do something that a lot of games don't really do, is that you don't have to be a combat focused character to have very viable paths to successfully go through combat, and they're usually not dumb options. In the first fight, no, not the first fight in the game is the Sorrow, and that's basically a tutorial. But the one after that, which I think I avoided, where you come to the reef of the world and you are ambushed. It starts with devices on the same platform that you can utilize, things like that. So even if you have no combat capability, you can still do damage to the enemy. You can a lot of times avoid the fight entirely, or you can alter at least how it's going to do. Like in the Endless Gate, we had the option of going through a lot of
I take
Endless
a
Gate
nap that
followers,
was even
or
more
go through
boring.
the quick route and strengthen the enemy we were going to fight there. I managed to do a non-violent solution to that, but even then, even if you don't have the non-violent solution, you still have other paths to take. So I can at least think of the 2 to 3 paths, and that's the minimum, just by looking at the options we faced here. And that's very good. Basically, I have no fear about, no matter what type of character you make, you can make through the game. It doesn't feel like you made a
Right.
shit character, a weak character. It just feels like you have to lean toward a different type of a solution in crisis, and that's fairly rare in roleplay, even in role-playing games.